The Ilhan Omar, the freshman congresswoman from Minnesota, Trump thing got escalated. Ilhan Omar was standing in front of CARE, a Muslim group here in America, and talking about the 9/11 terror attacks, said some people did something, kind of just blowing it off. Trump jumps on that, as any politician would, played her comments, juxtaposed those with the planes flying into the buildings on 9/11. Ilhan Omar obviously gets a lot of threats because she's a radical congresswoman. Anyway, she says Trump playing her own words, juxtaposing it with the own event that she was talking about, is inciting violence. I don't see how in any way this is inciting violence. To me, this just seems like a congresswoman who is constantly writing checks her butt can't cash. If you don't like getting death threats, then shut your mouth and go to your office and get to work.
Well, first of all, I think that Donald Trump is the last person that should open his mouth or tweet anything about someone being not sensitive enough to a suffering nation or people. This is the same man that speaks foul and ill about Puerto Rico when they're suffering still right now without electricity and running water in many places of Puerto Rico, and he says they got enough money, he's not worried about them. This is the same man that called African people in this country, why we let them come in? They come from whole nations. This is the same man that said white supremacists who ran over a woman and killed her at a white supremacist, white nationalist march. He said, well, they're not all bad. There's some nice people marching with them. So how is her comments to Congresswoman any worse than Donald Trump, the president? He's a hypocrite, and that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Well, he's still going to point out her comments, whether you like the things he said in the past or not. The point of it is, it's not inciting violence to play your own words that you said publicly. Now, maybe if this was something private she had said, then you could say it's inciting violence. She stood on a stage behind a microphone on television and said it. That's your own words.
But
you own
Trump
it.
also said that if he's not reelected, he don't think that there'll be a peaceful transition of power. Let me tell you something, man. Trump needs to be very, very, very careful. Don't you see the Bloods and the Crips coming together in Los Angeles? Don't you see they're not coming together in other cities around America because of what happened with Nipsey Hussle? Do you not know that these young brothers have the appetite as warriors who what they call hell, they call home? He better be very careful about exciting violence in this nation against those he don't like, because there are much more in America that don't like him.
I haven't seen any evidence of Trump standing against any black person in any community in the country other than the fact they're all back to work.
Trump's very supportive of white nationalist groups, and in fact admitted he's a white nationalist himself, says a whole lot about what he thinks about black people.